If you are a business owner, it is time to get your shit in order. Good morning and welcome to In the Car with Clint. Driving to work in a rainy, shitty South Australian day. This our winters. It is what it is. But I want to talk to you about your obligations financially with the ATO, the Australian Taxation Office, and how that impacts your business moving forward from today for the years that come. I had a meeting with my accountants. Some people say accountants, like there is two. There was actually two. Well, there's actually three. Yesterday we did some tax planning, and we talked about how obviously we're going to maximize our tax efficiencies, and that's completely legal and it's fine, and it's very intelligent for you to do that. And one of the things that someone may have done in the past, if they're trying to manage their debts or their tax bills, is to go into a payment arrangement and use the ATO as a bank. The advice that I am being given now is don't do that anymore. Stop doing that. The ATO has a responsibility to bring in the taxation from individuals to help run the country, and you may or not be aware that in the recent 2 years, our government paid a lot of money out to a lot of people. Now they need their money back. So this is not financial advice. This is my opinion. This is an example of what I'm doing that may be able to help you, but I encourage you to seek professional financial advice from a certified practicing accountant or whatever they are. Don't get too big on the details, and get their opinion. But a few points. ATO's interest rates on debt have gone up, and they will no longer be remitting, from what I understand, which means you can't pay down your debt and then request a refund on the interest that they charge. So if you're thinking of using the ATO as a bank, think again, because the banks are probably going to have lower interest rates. 2, there are fines for late lodgement of BAS. Do not mess around with this shit. Lodge your BAS. It's important to remember that even if you have a $0 business, if it is active, it is your responsibility to lodge a $0 BAS. Make sure you meet these commitments, right? If you start missing those, red flags fly up, and then all of a sudden, our friends at the Australian Taxation Office will be knocking on your door just to come and do a friendly audit on your business. On that, you may or may not know, you can actually get audit insurance. Probably not a bad time to buy audit insurance if that's being offered to you, because I would say we're going to probably see an investment in clawbacks from the ATO, and audits cost a lot of money, and in the insurance for an audit, say for example, I think we're covered for up to $25,000 of accounting costs around an audit, and I think we pay $870 a year for that. Might be a cost worth looking at. And then obviously, finally, make sure you know your commitments and know where you are. I think that a lot of businesses have been using the 2-year global pandemic as an excusable reason to not lodge things, to not complete things, to not pay things, but those grace periods are over, and if you could get called in on your debts, and it's going to be a problem. So make sure you keep your shit in order, right? It's going to serve you. Bonus thing that actually came up from yesterday. If you're doing your tax returns, you may not want to be as edgy with your tax returns as you may have been in the past. Obviously, you're always going to comply with the law, but if you're claiming, if your profit shows too low for the year, it is not out of the realms of possibility that a bank may call in their debt. Banks are a business too, and they are risk averse, and if they are worried that you're not going to be able to service your debt, they might call it in. So now is not the time to be over leveraging and doing crazy things, unless you have a ridiculous appetite. And contradictory, these are also the times when some elite people will make the most money they've ever made. So you do you. This is general opinion, not financial advice. I just suggest that if you are interested or concerned about your tax obligations, your loan obligations, etc., get a professional in place to talk about it and understand where you sit. If you are not currently confident that your accountant is good, go back to my video about accountants. But If I ask you the question, do you have a good accountant, and you say, I think so, you don't have a good accountant, and it's time to start looking. I would suggest if you do that, you interview them like you would an employee and choose the accountant that best suits you. You have a conversation with 3 or 4 accountants, and all of a sudden you understand what a good accountant is and what a great accountant is. Anyway, that's enough from me. Go dominate your business. Dominate life. Be kind to each other. Be kind to yourself. I'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya.